What's up, guys? This is Victor here from Master Your Body Fitness in Rochester Hills. Today I want to talk about your relationship with food and how that could very well be the core reason why you are not living the life and having the body and feeling the way you know you should and can feel. Our Western way, not even in the Western world, but most of the world's relationship with food is completely and utterly dysfunctional and destructive, and it's wreaking havoc on billions of lives all throughout the world. 1/3 of the United States population is obese. Look that up. That means they're incredibly overweight. 1/3, not 5%, not 6%, 1/3. That's 33.33 repeating percent are obese due to this dysfunctional relationship with food. And what do I mean by that? For whatever reason, we have come to a place where, and it's certainly not being helped by all of the deceptive marketing and all the funky ingredients in your normal everyday food, but our relationship has become to the point where we expect every bite of food to taste almost like we're getting high off it, like it's ooh, yummy, yummy cake. Dessert with every meal, pop, chips, candy, dessert. It's madness. And now what companies are doing, very big ones that provide a huge chunk of the food that we are in mass consuming, are realizing they can put specific ingredients that have an addictive quality, which are basically foods that are very sweet or salty or high in fat. Those are the types of ingredients that are going to make you just want more. And most people don't question this. They just use their biological response of craving as a dictating force as to what and when and how they're going to eat. They just blindly follow this hunger mechanism. And it's not even really, it goes beyond the idea of hunger. It goes into, again, these food companies are creating a craving for more of their specific types of foods, and as a result you're starting to eat obviously way too much of it. So, and I will tell you the irony of it all, having myself experienced both ends of the spectrum. One end meaning I have eaten a very clean, I've gone as far as eating the raw vegan diet, that means nothing cooked, no animal products. It was about as pure and organic and clean of a diet you could even possibly imagine. Honestly, I didn't even know this raw diet thing existed, and I gave it a try for about a year. So I've experienced that. And I've also experienced eating whatever the fuck I want. Food, fast food. In high school, I literally ate Wendy's probably twice a day. Then I went home at night, at like 10, 11 o'clock at night, when I was done hanging out with my friends, and I'd raid the house, and I'd eat nothing but cereal and waffles, and I'd make these ice cream sundaes. I would just go ape shit. And what happens is, your taste buds adapt to either end of the spectrum. And what ends up happening is it basically becomes relative. Where when you're constantly eating foods that are very salty, very high in sugar, very high in fat, your taste buds become desensitized. So as an unfortunate result, and another side reason why shit's all awry, is that because your taste buds become so desensitized, then you start to need more and more and more and saltier and sugarier, more sugary and fattier foods to get some sort of satisfaction out of your meal. Whereas me, when I was doing that raw vegan diet, I would have almost an orgasm in my mouth from eating a fresh apple. The fresh apple had such a intense sweetness to it that it was like, oh, it was just as if I was someone who had strung out on cookies, decided to have yet another cookie. It's like, oh, wow, great. But the difference is I'm eating healthy, wholesome foods that were supporting me in all areas of my life, trying to be the best kind of person I can be, the best father, the best husband, be physically fit, healthy, etc. So when I suggest these modifications to my clients' diets, they look at me like they're just never going to enjoy food again. Or how could anyone live on such a boring diet? And it's not boring at all. There's full of natural, inherent flavor in real, God's created foods, you might say. fish, animals, products, berries, you know, fruit, vegetables, seeds, all oils, all of this real natural food has a very pleasant taste. And as long as your taste buds are not constantly being bombarded with drug-like levels of sugar, fat, and salt, they will not be oversensitized, and they will come to really appreciate and like those foods. And then guess what? Here's the real kicker. Here's the real other benefit of eating a normal diet, a real healthy diet, is on the occasion, say once or twice a week, you do go out to dinner or you do have dessert at a party or something, that's gonna be a real high. You're gonna feel like, oh my God, I've died and gone to heaven. It's just because of the contrast from the healthy food to all that salt and sugar and fat. It's like, oh yes, baby, oh man, it's wonderful. But again, like, ask any addict or alcoholic, they're always chasing their first high. If you do it over and over and over and over and over and over again, guess what? You're not gonna get that. The experience is gonna be significantly diminished. And then you're just trying to chase something that doesn't exist. So I really truly believe that if people on a mass scale can start to open up their mind and question their relationship with food, and for example, give it a try to come off all that crap for a week or two, they will realize that dieting, eating healthy, being health conscious is just a normal, natural impulse of the human experience, and not some kind of vain, restrictive, and boring, and Poindexter way of going about life in terms of their food. It's not like that. It's so important right now to start to question our definitions about things, because if you hold on to the definition, like I just mentioned, that eating healthy is boring, and for like the people who are just obsessed with their looks and all that bullshit, then you're never going to open up to the options that would come into your life that would help you actually feel good and look in the mirror and be proud of the person you are, and be a good example for your peers and your kids, and to not get fucking cancer at 50 years old and 40 years old. Oh, it's in the air. No, I'll tell you what, I guarantee a humongous percentage, maybe 99% of the people, if they were to just eat normal healthy foods their whole life, all this cancer, all this bullshit would not happen. I'm not saying there are not other factors involved. Obviously there are. I could go on forever about all these different factors, and many of us could as well. But a humongous component that we have control over right now is our food consumption, our food choices, and the relationship that we choose to have with our food. So I would love to just go on further with this, but I think I'm going to cut myself off because I'm getting a little angry, because it's a humongous problem it's a very dangerous thing when addictive and dysfunctional and self-destructive habits become the societal norm. It's normal to do everything the opposite of what I said. It's normal to eat out every fucking day, and to eat dessert with every meal, and to be 50 pounds overweight, and to get diabetes and cancer and heart disease and risk of stroke and back pain and aches and pains and just a general fatigue, general unhappiness, general feelings of unworthiness and shame and guilt and remorse and disgust with how we look. This is all normal. People accept this. And as long as that's the case, things are not going to change. It all starts with you. Yeah, you listening to this right now, you have a chance to change a lot. By you, one person, simply taking back control of your life instead of giving your power away to these fucking corporations that could give a shit less about your feelings and your well-being, and have only eyes on the money that they're going to produce by stringing you out on this bullshit. If you can take back control, then you will have a very strong possibility of inspiring perhaps dozens of others in this magical ripple effect that happens when one person stands out in a positive way. Then everybody else in your circle in your life are going to look at you, and whether they all join you or not, that's not your job to convince them, but they will all see an example of another way, perhaps a better way, a happier way of navigating their life. And you can do it. You can change your own life, and you can help change others, and it's all a matter of your choice right now.